Hello, everyone. It's 7 o'clock. I am Connelly Clayton, your awesome host for the evening. Welcome to Krampusnacht and book launch. We're here tonight to celebrate the launch of my latest book, Zinfandel's Grimoire. So, Steph, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, Stephanie.
How
So,
you doing?
the reason I brought Stephanie in to talk to us is because I just got, I don't read tarot and I don't really know that much about it. I just thought it would be really neat to name all of my chapters after tarot cards. So what I did was I went through each chapter and whatever happened in that chapter, I tried to find a tarot card that related to it. So, but I don't really read tarot. So I brought you in because you're one of my tarot buddy friends and you're also a published author. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do as far as being an author and your tarot reading hustle.
So basically, I write books about witchcraft and demonology, and I have been reading tarot cards since I was 16 years old. So that's something else I kind of do on the side professionally. So I do the writing with the fiction and the nonfiction, and then of course I have my divination business because I do other things too. I mean, I read runes and I read Lenormand cards. I don't know if you know what those are. And just stuff like that. So yeah, it's interesting.
What makes it interesting to you?
I think what it is like, okay, so like each card has a meaning, but you get to a point where you kind of go beyond that, where you actually look at the pictures in the card and what those cards kind of evoke within you, and you read them like a sentence, like the cards before and after and all around the card that you've got there. It basically tells a story, and you can kind of get some intuitive insight from the pictures, because you can take, for example, a card from the same card from like 5 different decks, and that imagery is going to evoke something different in you. So like you can know what it means, like traditionally what that card means, but it may change slightly depending on the deck too.
Yeah. In my Krampus chapter, I named the Seven of Swords, and I'm trying to remember why I did that. But I'm looking at the image now, and it's still trying to get used to these
Right.
this thing. So Seven of Swords, Krampus, and I'm thinking because he sneaks in, and you know.
Well, the interesting thing about the Seven of Swords is, like, traditionally it's like a card of you can look at it as being resourceful, because he's picking up all those swords. He's kind of resourceful, being able to carry all of that. And then of course you have like the truth revealed, a revelation of something of some kind. It can also be is signified by the Seven of Swords. You have to remember the swords are like the air element, so they have to do with thought and thinking and our mental processes. So, but depending on the Seven of Swords and where it's at, it could also indicate maybe like something's wrong, or there's like a situation isn't that good, or that someone's going to betray you too. Maybe they might take some of your opportunities. So, I mean, it really, again, depends like what kind of cards are all around that Seven of Swords. If you were just to pull the Seven of Swords by itself, I would say that just means resourcefulness, and or a truth is revealed, some sort of revelation of some sort.
Yeah. So the chapter preceding the Seven of Swords is the Ace of Pentacles, and it's followed by the Seven of Cups. Does that mean anything to you?
So the Ace of Pentacles is always like a new opportunities card, or it's a card of stability. So that is, I mean, if you were to read those cards, you said the seven of Swords was, the Ace of Pentacles was before the Seven of Swords?
Yeah, it went Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and then Seven of Cups.
Seven of Cups. Okay, like, and the Seven of Cups is like kind of a, that's a card of, well, you could say wishful thinking or illusions, but it's also another card of opportunity. So you have like resourcefulness, stability, and new opportunity. So, I mean, those are different ways you could kind of look at it. The sevens in the tarot, they're impactful on spiritual relationships. So that's kind of an interesting take on that. If you kind of looked at the sevens, that's if you have like two sevens, but sevens themselves are like indicative of like creativity and individuality. So, which is kind of that's one of those things like where you learn, because you can also read like regular playing cards. So like tarot is basically, it goes hand in hand with regular playing cards. And I actually knew a woman from Poland who read tarot cards. And she was the grandmother of a friend of mine, and she taught my friend how to read regular playing cards. And then my friend in turn kind of turned around and taught me, and it was really interesting. So I don't know if I actually remember how to do that, but
I bought these in Placerville just on a whim. There's this shop in Placerville, California that has, we called it the goth shop. It's called the Black Rose.
Right.
And I actually got the Ace of Spades tattooed on my left calf. But they're just regular playing cards.
Oh, nice. Oh, those would be really good for divination.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So those are it's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, like diamonds corresponded with earth. I could be wrong about this. And I don't remember if hearts were water or fire. I'd actually have to look that up. It's been so many years since I've tried to read regular playing cards. So I don't think I've played with that since I was in my early 20s. But yeah, I mean, but I think the same thing goes, like when you're talking about like the meanings of numbers and all of that. I think that kind of goes through into the playing card bits too.
So I read somewhere recently that playing cards were designed to teach children or people the different seasons. There's like different agricultural things. Like there's 4 seasons, and
then there's 4 elements associated with the 4 seasons. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. So I want to talk about your writing career. You write under 4 different pen names. I just finished reading Dark Prince, which is your line under the Audrey Prince. Audrey Bryce. I'm telling you, I have chemo brain fog. It's horrible. Anyhow, Audrey Bryce, which is my favorite line that you write. So tell me a little bit about what's going on in the world of Darkerwood Publishing. That's your imprint?
Yeah. Yes, Darkerwood Publishing Group. So right now, I mean, I use 4 different pen names because it's not because my readers don't know that I'm all 4 pen names, but I do it because it makes it so much. I have such a huge catalog of work that I've been putting out over the years that it made it easier for my readers to find exactly what they were looking for. So for like my S. Connolly stuff, that's my nonfiction. That's my witchcraft and demonology stuff. And I've also done other nonfiction, like articles, writing articles and stuff under that particular pen name. And then S.J. Reisner is my PG-13 stuff. And it's fantasy and romance and just, I don't know, general fiction, but it's all PG-13. That's the thing. And then the Audrey Bryce stuff is all, I like to say that's my pen name where occult fact meets occult fiction. Because I write a little bit in everything there. I write some paranormal romance, some urban fantasy, some dark fantasy, cozy mysteries. I love, and just regular mysteries. So thriller type stuff, horror, all of that is under Audrey Bryce, but it's more the rated R stuff. And then I have my rated X pen name, where I actually write like the really super steamy romance that some of it is actually erotica, but not all of it is. So it's kind of like that's just the really intense graphic stuff. But I separate it just because I still do like the paranormal romance and everything. In that too, it's just that it's just more graphic. And I found that my readers, they're like, oh, I like your work, but that's a little too graphic for me. Or, oh, I really just want horror or stuff like that. So it makes it easier for them to find exactly what they want.
That's cool. I just finished reading Dark Prince, and I really did enjoy it. But I got to tell you, I kept thinking since, and of course, I've been watching, you can tell I watch way too much news, because I kept expecting Shelby Mithras. I see what you did there with that name. I kept expecting her because she's from Kentucky, and
Right.
her love interest is the Prince of Hell.
Right.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. So in your book, you refer to hell as a different sphere. So
Right.
Is that like a different planet, or is it like a different realm?
It's more like a different maybe dimension or plane of existence.
Okay.
So I like to think of it as an interdimensional thing. But
Okay.
it'll that kind of like a mythology kind of allows for, you know, like maybe you've got Asgard for a particular, or you've got heaven, and that's like a particular sphere. And the different sphere is like the level it vibrates at. So it's kind of an interdimensional thing.
Okay. Because I kept thinking of sphere as like a ball, like a planet.
Right.
But what I was saying with the news is I thought Shelby was going to like take over hell and turn it into this great constitutional republic. And I'm like, okay, Gwen, because I joke that I write political science fiction, because that's what Zinfandel's Grimoire is all about. It's all about politics. And I'm like, okay, Shelby is not going to be taken, she's not going to start a revolution, and hell is not going to become a constitutional republic. They're not going to get a constitution. They're not going to hold elections. Can you imagine having political parties in hell?
Oh, wow. Oh my, that would be interesting to say the least. I was thinking more like a Hallmark movie, but in hell. It's kind of like,
it is definitely a Hallmark movie. Yeah.
Like when I was editing it and I was like reading it back, I like actually set it down for just a second after I had finished it, and I'd finished marking it up, and I was like, that was like quirky and weird, but strangely satisfying. I'm not sure what the heck I just wrote. I'm not sure what that is exactly. So, but people's like reaction to it has been good.
I know, you're just gonna have to start your own Hallmark 2.
Right.
Hallmark 2, the dark side of the card. The dark cards.
Oh my goodness. I have not read your book yet. I'm excited to read it. It's on my queue. So
it's on your Kindle?
Look after the one I'm working on now.
All right. Well, I greatly appreciate all your support, and I greatly enjoy reading your work, and I always enjoy talking to you. So thanks so much for joining us tonight, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you.